Oh, yes. Good morning, everyone, from wherever you're watching from. This is your program, Perspectives. Well, for 2 weeks straight, I've been out of this program. And people write inside the example, and they miss the show like say tomorrow no day. But I must thank those who held on, especially the person who stood in as the lead presenter on the show while I was away. That's Hi Susa. Hi Susa Mulari. Thank you.
Good morning.
You did it very well. Very, very well.
Thank you so much. And how has the exam been?
Well, I don't go try my best.
No, we are so proud of you. I think you are that representation that you can achieve anything you set your mind to. It is never too late, and I'm really rooting for you, and I'm proud of you. Honestly, because we still have like mothers out there that feel like, no, let my children just continue. The one that I did not finish, my children will finish it. No, you can still do it. If it's something that you want to go for, go for it. Your children can achieve it, and you can also achieve it too. It's not bad if we have 3 master holders in the house. It's not bad if we have 3 PhD holders in the house. So don't just limit it and say, no, the children will go to the one I did not go. You can still go for it.
Okay.
Wow,
challenge
fact,
yourself.
You are making me very proud.
Challenge
I'm so
yourself.
happy. But I must also say I'm not the only one reading at this page. Shade.
Yes.
In and out of this program.
Yes.
Oh,
She's
well.
also,
I'm proud of you both, honestly. I'm proud of
Shade,
you
good
both.
morning. Thank you. We are happy
Good
to have
morning.
you.
Good morning. Really, it is easy going back to school
It's
when
easy.
after all the maternity runs. But then, as Isosa said, we don't have to lay back and say, "Oh, I leave it to my kids to do it." You can set the pace even for your children. By the time you're a PhD holder, then your children will be like, I shouldn't do yes, I shouldn't just do less.
Yes.
But then it's not just in studying alone. Whatever it is
Everything.
you set your heart to do, as an individual, yes, it's never too. The best time to start is
It's
now.
now.
Be a
So
good
good
role
morning,
model.
everyone.
Moving straight to Sharon.
Was
The
one
second to
dream
you
when my son will come.
You know it will always come. You are. Yes,
I was
you have
just
to
waiting eagerly. First, I want to commend Isisa. She's looking extremely beautiful. Isisa fixed her nails. Please do that. Because when she was talking, she was doing like this. She was saying like this. So I was like,
Normally when I talk, I always just
exactly,
so
when
I
you
guess
talk-
it's just normal.
Why am I noticing-
wasn't flaunting it.
Why-
It's
why-
just
why
the
am I
way I
noticing
talk.
it?
Forget it's good to flaunt here, Gare. Please flaunt it here. You have it.
well
Even
done
if it's
to
artificial.
the both of you. It's not easy going back to school after children or childbirth and everything. Your brain itself will not be able to assimilate
Come
everything.
and ask me.
Okay. The reading, the night readings, the assessments and everything, I understand. But the grace of God, Agbara Ọlọ́run.
Hey, she's supposed to speak.
Agbára Ọlọ́run.
We'll see you put.
And since she's been there, I
Yes,
guess.
of
so.
course. In saying this, we also want to thank the men who supported us.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have our men supporting us to go ahead,
Yes.
we won't be able to. That's the truth about this whole thing. It's a different thing to have the dream, to want to do it, and what you know, especially
Having the
where the
motivation,
children
yes.
are there, nobody is there to help you cater for them, look after them when you're away, especially if you have to go some days or weeks
Yes.
to another location to school. Time you have to read as well, even if you're in the same town, you have to read, you want to concentrate and all
Yeah.
that. If you don't have someone motivating you,
Support system.
supporting you, it's a good support system, I like that, you won't be able to achieve it. And that's why we are also saying Happy International Men's
Men's
Day
Day.
To our men out there.
the ever supportive men,
And also
the
to the
responsible
management,
men.
thank that this time around we also have men, at the echelon of
We've always had
administration.
men,
Yeah.
But we have
So,
men this time
the
around.
The real
in
men.
Very
Those
supportive.
dogos that
Oh
are out
yes,
there.
in form of fathers.
Fathers, yes,
Father.
supporting us.
Yes,
yes.
supporting us.
And we also have men in the women form, you know.
Okay, no, the
well,
men,
men-
supporting
The
women.
women that are strong enough to, you know,
They he for she.
they he for she.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I'm kind of lost.
not the he she, not the him, not she.
For the
The women that
who
are
who are
capable.
living
Yes.
like men.
Oh, okay.
Who are,
Hustling
like
like
that.
men.
who are strong in themselves, who have decided that no matter what, I will support my fellow women. I will do this. But we also have men,
Oh, supporting men.
yes,
Yeah.
who are
A lot,
supporting
a
women.
lot.
Those are
That's
the
the E for she.
yes.
The men who feels, you know, we have some men in the society. They are
So misogynistic.
exactly that's the word I'm looking for. And women,
Anything women.
they are angry.
Shut
They down.
down.
They
Yeah.
bring
They've
you down.
started.
They look for. But we have men who stands behind women.
They want
to
to see
push,
women
to push
attain
the way they are
up
not
to-
your husband. We're not talking of men who are your husband.
Your
We're talking
bosses,
of men
yeah.
in the society who feels as a woman you don't have to limit yourself.
Yeah.
As a woman you can get to the top. As a woman I'll support you with all I've got. You know, so we have them. I want to
Creating
say,
the
thank
opportunities.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you to those
And that's
men
the
out
kind
there.
of man
Thank
we
you.
also have
Yeah.
at the top.
And talk
Also, we
about,
also want to use this opportunity to tell men that are not men. You know, we have
To
men
become
that
the
are
man
to
that
come
needs
up
to
and
be
be
the
man.
man.
You know, be the
I
man.
think we need to produce an album because
the
the
lyrics are
lyrics
there.
it's flowing.
Who will rather leave the responsibility of taking
the
care of
women.
the home to the woman? The man who will look away from what he is supposed to do as a man. The man who has decided to, you know, change his sex by, you know, having
Tying
to give the
wrapper.
man, the woman, his balls and then take the other one. That's the truth because the moment
An
you share
exchange.
your responsibility and you feel because maybe my wife has, she can take care of the
Cater for the
home,
family.
and then you remove your hand totally.
Completely.
You're already a woman. You're telling the woman she is the man. She's the leader of the home. Whereas you have decided to be neck, even though you're not turning her around very well, and you've given her the head. We still celebrate you.
We celebrate
We
you.
celebrate you, but you don't say Yoruba will say come aroki lokun, as in that celebration.
Yeah.
Eh?
It's not coming from the full heart.
If you truly deserve the kudos,
Eh,
come
yeah.
Aroki,
Come
Lokwe.
Aroki lokun, that kind of a thing. So welcome to our this perspectives. When you see us like this, you know say we come loaded. And this morning I'm quite glad that
We have a
it's
full
a full
house.
house.
Yes.
Full house.
So
You go
it's
get
doing
that
her
when we go
thing.
past like this.
So
Aslayo is absent today. She's a bit under the weather, but I know that next week she'll be on the program as well. Welcome, it's Perspectives. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll go straight. We'll go to our newspaper headlines to review some of the major headlines, and one is really. In fact, I'm sure there's no newspaper today that
That's
you
not
not find
carrying
that
it.
headline. So quite a lot for you. And we also have our focal points on the show. We'll get to that and the trending stories. When we come back, straight we go. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's the perspectives coming to you from Osrc television. And before we went on that break, I said, well, we'll come back. It should be time to review some of the newspapers that we have, the headlines this morning. And I'm starting with the Tribune newspaper, where like I said before, we have one headline today that I'm sure all the newspaper will carry as the major headline, and that's the story on Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu to appeal as court jails him for life. You can find the details of that story on page 3 of the Tribune newspaper. Also, we have U.S. Congress holds public hearing on Nigeria as country of particular concern. You can also find that on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. WAEC shifts full CBT exam to 2027. The details is on page 4. And here is a rider. Rewards 18 church. Kidnappers demand 100 million naira ransom on each victim. And a rider, government orders school closure in 5 local government areas. You can see that on page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And this one is on a sad note. Grandson of Obafemi Awolowo, Olusegun Awolowo, is dead. Very sad one that. May you so rest in peace.
Alright, moving on to the Guardian newspaper. U.S. lawmakers question Nigerians' will capacity to curb violence. That's on page 6 of the Guardian. And also we have the major win for Nestle as court lifts asset freeze in alleged $1 million debt dispute. More of the story is on the Guardian newspaper, and that's what we have from the Guardian.
From the Guardian, we're going to check the Daily Trust. On the Daily Trust this morning are these headlines. Kanu gets life imprisonment after 10-year trial. And the story, it's on the front page. where there's a story and people are having their hot takes on that. Then we also have this one, ACF at 35. Leaders demand solution to insecurity. I think right now all Nigerians are demanding solution to insecurity, not just the leaders alone, because it's frightening. As I discussing with some friends that I don't listen to the news again because it's scary. But then you check page 32 of the Daily Trust this morning for details on the ACF position.
To Daily Sun, we have a big one here. Family group kick as Nnamdi Kanu gets life imprisonment. We have a rider convicted on all 7 counts. We will appeal judgment, says legal consultant. Southeast expected the sentencing, says Abaribe. All hope not lost, Reps Deputy Speaker says. Kwara State shut schools in 5 local government areas over bandits attack. 2 in 3 Nigerian children live in multi-dimensional poverty, UNICEF. That's on page 28. Nigeria really disgraced nation, overwhelmed by insecurity, Peter Obi. That's on page 28, I guess. Schoolgirls adoption. Tinubu orders Matawale to relocate to KB. That you can find on page 6. Moves by international actors, interest groups to label Nigeria country of religious intolerance. Intolerance troubling, says FG. That's on page 6, and that's all for the Daily Sun newspaper.
All right, going straight to the Nation newspaper this morning, and for the Nation newspaper, the major headline this time around is on the U.S. Congress, not that of Nnamdi Kanu. Fireworks in U.S. Congress over Nigeria's insecurity. And I have it right to this: lawmakers split on religious labeling of insurgency. Tinubu sends Batawale to Kebbi, 900 troops to Kwara. You can find details on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. DSS files terrorism charges against 9 IPOB commanders linked to Simon Ekpa. As we know, Simon Ekpa is already been sentenced to jail. So more people have been remanded now, and more cases to be held in this regard. You can go to page 4 of the Nation newspaper to get details of the story. Awolowo's grandson, Olusegun, dies at 62. That story is also on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Lagos allocates 245 billion naira bond to critical infrastructure. Page 7 holds the story. Nnamdi Kanu gets life sentence for terrorism. A rider IPOB chief found guilty on all 7 counts. All 7. And it's major win for Next Oil as court leaves asset freeze in alleged $1 billion debt dispute. All right, so that's that from the Nation newspaper.
All right, moving on to the Vanguard newspaper. National interest, Anya Aganga Akonde orders chart way forward for Nigeria. That's on page 7. The U.S. Congress highlights alleged Christian genocide in Nigeria. That's on page 3. Pattern of targeted violence now clear. That's on page 4. The court jails Kanu for life. That's on page 5. Segun Awolowo is dead. That's on page 6. Lagos raises 244.8 billion naira bond for infrastructure. That's on page 10. ATA responsible for Akwa Ibom's increased allocation, coming from Jonathan. That's on page 3. Then there's an outrage over World Cup. Over the World Cup, time to kick out NFF. That's on page 13. Nigerians Entrepreneurship Index rises to 0.47 points. That's on page 19 of the Vanguard. And that's all we have from the Vanguard today.
From the Vanguard, let's take Leadership Friday. Mixed reactions trail Nnamdi Kanu's life sentence. You find details of this on page 4 of the Leadership Friday. And you also have a story. Nigerian bishop justifies or testifies before U.S. Congress on alleged Christian genocide. Seeks action. Find details of that on pages, that's on page 7 of the Leadership Friday for today. And that does it there from Leadership Friday.
All right, I guess we are
We
done.
still have one.
Yeah, we still have one.
We have the Vanguard, maybe. Shalom will take
Okay,
that.
The Daily Independent.
Yes. Kanu to appeal life sentence as lawyers weigh in on ruling. We have a rider, Abari,
Our newspapers this morning, the newspapers we have with us this morning. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we'll delve into our focus for today. Please to stay with us. Perspectives on Osrc television. We're going straight to focal point today. We're looking at discipline in schools. Looking at should we change the focus to, should discipline in schools vis-a-vis parents' reaction to what be discipline? We're looking at discipline in schools and the way parents now react when a child is being disciplined. Let's quickly take the story. A video showing a tense exchange between a teacher and the parents of a student at a private school in Abuja has gone viral, sparking widespread discussion online and even among parents and people at home. The confrontation occurred at Starville School in Jahi, Abuja, after a teacher.
Pushing like an adult. Yes. No, pushing me 2 times. Pushing me with his 2 hands. I slapped him. That was what happened.
Because you can slap him.
Not because.
What is slapping now?
I apologize.
For you to slap my boy, do you know that past you raising my children? Are you stupid?
Mr. Nakundu, I would have also recorded, but I'm not recording, so you will drop
You slap my boy!
Leave my phone. Madam, leave my phone. Leave my phone. Let him beat him. Beat him very much. I can stand there and let him beat him. Let him beat him.
For what reason?
Let him beat him. Let him beat him.
How dare you touch my child? How dare you? How dare you?
You can slap me just for what?
Yes, I slapped it too. You can have the video published if you want. So that great man you are hitting my child.
You slap my child by 3 times.
Nonsense.
You are going with me. See, today you are going with me.
You're watching the station right now.
We are going together.
Nonsense.
We are going. You slap my child. You are going my children.
If that boy had fainted and died, you don't even know his health conditions.
It's for me, I don't know what is wrong with parents. In as much as for me, I don't really support when a teacher, not like when a teacher beats a student, but when you beat a student to the extent of giving the child bodily injury, or when it's apart from beating, giving the child bodily injury, you beat the child in a way that even you as a parent, if you see the child, you're not going to feel recognize your baby or your child anymore. I don't like that. I know there was a time we also talked about a child, a little child
that was beaten,
that was being
flogged,
and
yes.
you could see
The marks
a
on the
little
leg.
child of 2-3 years.
Yes.
That I don't support. Okay, those kind of, but that's a child, a student. Because you refuse, because the teacher slapped you when you were the first to push the teacher twice. All you now did was go home and report, and the parents came. You didn't go. Can you see the way that teacher was being slapped?
Yes.
By both parents. And the mother tried to put up a phone because there was another teacher who was videoing the whole thing for you to feel, at first she was trying to hold the husband like, probably if you not do this thing. But later she saw that there was a video. They were being recorded, and she decided to like throw caution to the eye. 3 months, do this, and you went and did your own.
Yeah, and then she
And
came and
she
she said, I slapped him
him.
too.
So
Now,
do your
you
worst.
know, let's look at it from both angles. That child is not well disciplined, because for the child to even have the audacity to push the teacher, it shows how ill-mannered that child is. Now, the teacher, on the other hand, could have handled it in a different way.
Oh.
Maybe not slapping the child. That is why you have the school authorities. Don't take laws into your hands. Schools have rules and regulations. I'm going to look at it from both angles. The teacher was wrong for hitting the child, but then how the parents also chose to handle it was also wrong. The teacher should have probably reported the child to the school administration, and then they will handle it. If they have to expel the child, suspend the child, or give the child certain punishment. But then looking at the deed that's already been done, now, I love the fact that the teacher explained himself. He told the parents that, yes, I did slap your child, but this was what the child did. He said the child pushed him on the chest twice. The student, yes,
Yeah,
pushed
the
the
student,
teacher,
yeah,
yes,
just
on the chest
pushing you
twice.
twice on
And
the
then
chest.
the statement the father said is, okay, so you now felt you can slap him. You feel because he doesn't have anything to do. What if I slap you now? And then the man stood up and slapped the teacher. Now the father also handled it poorly, because now the child is going to see this now. He's going to feel like I can misbehave. My daddy will come. Yes, we understand that it takes a lot for you to take care of your child, because one of the statements the father made was, do you know how I raised these children?
Do you know what it cost me to have
Do you know what it cost me? But now, you know, I saw a post that they said when you don't correct your children, when
slap my boy, they think you can slap him and go free. What if I slap you now?
I apologize.
But do you know I can actually slap you now? For you to slap my boy, do you know that I passed to raise my children? Are you stupid?
Mr. Makundu, I would have also recorded, but I'm not recording, so you will drop
You slapped my boy!
Leave my phone. Madam, leave my phone. Leave my phone.
I will leave it.
Let him beat him. Beat him very well. Besides, you stand there and let him beat
This
him.
video of when he beats my own son.
Let
What
him beat him.
nonsense?
For what reason?
Let him beat him. Let him beat him.
Slap you too. How dare you touch my child? How dare you? How dare you?
You can slap because of what?
Yes, I slapped him too. You can have the video published.
You can do it again.
It's not the first time you are beating my child.
You slap my child by 3 times.
Nonsense.
You are praying with me. See, today you are praying with me.
You want the inspection right now.
We are going together.
Nonsense.
You are going. You slap my child. You are train my children.
That takes place in a school per day, that the admin will be and that the admin will be asked to take care of. And do you know the models operandi of private schools these days, that they have paid school fees, especially those schools where school fees are on the high side. They have paid school fees. They are from the bourgeois zone. They are eggs. Yes, they have to be treated with caution. Teachers, just the same way their parents are respecting them at home. You know, they have traded their place at home. They expect the teacher to trace with the students in school. It can happen. Have you been to the midst of these teenagers and they look at you disdainfully? How can you learn from someone you do not respect? You know, discipline is the foundation for learning, for heaven's sake. Let's not, where is the head? Please, let's not work with it.
Okay. I like the fact that you said discipline is the foundation of that. So
yes.
What constitutes discipline?
What constitutes discipline is certain rules and regulation, and we all know what rules and regulations ought to be in the school setting, you know, and ensuring that they are adhered to. Then having reward and punishment measures at the same time.
That is the same thing. That's why I said the teacher should have also gone to the school. You just said that they have rules.
First of all, role alone is to teach.
No, so that
the teacher should be able to correct on the spot.
Okay, fine.
Sharon.
I want to look at it from a different aspect.
Okay.
First of all, the school is wrong. I'm going to blame it on the school right now. You don't expose your staff or teachers in that manner.
Okay.
There are ways where
it's porous.
they are supposed to control such situation. We have the principal, if they still use the word principal there, we have the admins that are in charge of the school. So they are the head of schools. So they are the ones that are supposed to be in charge of a situation like this. You don't bring your teacher outside.
What if the man had a gun?
What if he was shot? Exactly. What if that slap now maybe escalated? There is an exchange of blows, because if it's me, I would definitely give it back. I'm being honest. The slap was just too much for me. You hit the first one, hit the second one, and your wife came to hit. That's someone's husband. Exactly. That's someone's father. That's someone's child. That's a man. You see, to even talk about.
And then you
the school.
This teacher might even have
health issues. Because
but then that was the same thing the mother raised up. That what if my son also has a health issue?
Then the slap would not have killed him.
It would have killed him.
So now, for me, I blame the school totally for everything. They are the ones that are supposed to defend this teacher. If peradventure there was a wound or a mark on the child's face due to the slap, you caution the teacher behind. Then you allow the parents to go. You handle the parents as the admin. You handle the parents. You quench the fire there, and they go back home.
So are
then
you
come
saying
back
it's
to
okay for the teacher to slap the child?
What
I
I'm saying
think it's
is,
okay for the teacher to slap the child. I am saying so because I've been on both ends. I'm a parent and I've also been a teacher. Please hold on. We should be able to correct, on the spot. Yes, fine, correct. Please try to turn your anger as a teacher. But then fundamentally, there's this thing, there's this impression that I would love that we talk about today. Is the issue of parents of private, in fact, even public schools now, looking down on teachers, thinking teachers.
They do that because they feel the school fees they are paying the school is what they are using to pay the salary.
But the teacher is providing a service that is much needed. Because I've been in situations where parents say, what's all this? After all, if we don't pay, they don't get to pay you.
You don't get to
Imagine,
eat.
did we?
You don't get to eat.
And I love the way the lady handled it that day. The lady was like, madam, see, if we don't teach your children too, probably you keep them at home. I keep them ignorant. And keep them ignorant.
No,
we are not begging. We are not begging. A necessary service.
The rates at which we look down on teachers,
that's
too much.
You know, this starts now.
Yes.
Even from the government.
It feels the teachers are jobless.
It's the conversation such parents have been having at home that embodies the child to do that.
Exactly.
They must have been talking at home saying, all those kind of conversation.
The remuneration of our teachers compared to what they do.
Exactly.
It starts from that.
Exactly.
A teacher makes the society. It makes the doctor, the lawyer,
name it.
Every
profession.
The foundation.
The foundation
comes from the teachers.
It starts from the teachers. So, one, they are being looked down on by the government with the way they are being.
Poor salary.
Poor salary. So, why won't they now feel
entitled?
Teachers are less than nothing to them?
Back then
especially
when I was
you
teaching,
feel you are paying a lot for your child to be in school.
Yeah.
And finally, these schools in return pay stipends.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the lot that, you understand.
And this
demoralizes the teacher, and this is the reason why we would not always have our best in the classroom, teaching our children.
And for me,
this child may likely not learn again.
You cannot even learn again.
The teacher and every other teacher in that school will ignore that child.
Yes.
So anything that has to do with that child, they'll just let him be.
Exactly.
Whatever he wants to do.
That's if the school even still takes the child back. Because at this point, with what happened,
some schools will.
Peradventure, it might even be the parent that will decide, I want to take my child out of it.
Yes.
But if that child continues there,
if that child was, because the child is in the public glare now, one. Two, even though they didn't show the picture, but information travels.
They will trace them.
Wherever that child goes, he won't learn anything because instead of molding
there's a stigma already.
Because school is all about education, character,
and learning
everything encompasses when you go to school. So they will leave him to be by himself, as it is.
That's the word.
So we don't think of that students spend more time with the teachers than at home.
Yes.
And then another thing is, you see, especially Yorubas, we like this Omoluwabi, the ethos Omoluwabi. These parents are Yorubas.
Imagine.
So where is the Omoluwabi thing in you? Peradventure, let's say you are angry. Yes, your child came crying. A teacher slapped me. Did you ask the child?
What did you do?
I wouldn't have frowned at the parents if they had sued the teacher.
Exactly. Yes, if he's suing.
Yes.
If it's suing, like you
said, or
said,
written a memo to the ministry or anything.
If they had done that, they would have been right. But now going to the school, go straight to the teacher, and you're beating up. This is not nice.
Both of them actually.
Both parties are wrong.
Both
parties are wrong.
The school too is wrong. Please don't remove the school out of this. The school too is wrong for putting the teacher out there. It shows that the safety of the teachers is not even guaranteed. Because when you're working in an establishment, each staff is supposed to be secured by the management of the school or the company or wherever you're working. They are supposed to ensure that the safety of the staff and
their integrity too is protected.
It's protected, exactly. So this one, you brought your teacher out there
To be shamed.
To be shamed,
Yes.
embarrassed,
Embarrassed.
beaten up.
Yes. Shadi, let me even take you up on this. As someone who has been a teacher,
Yes.
An experienced teacher for that matter, in one of the top schools in
A
the
trained
state,
one.
a trained one.
Yes.
You know, before you decided I want to go back to my
My
roots
passion.
because this used to be your root and your passion. How much of discipline is being exerted on the students?
Well, let me start by comparing growing up with what is obtainable now. Because in the days when we were students, I bet you no parents will dare do that.
No parents.
No parents.
No parents.
No.
will.
No student, a student that will dare push a teacher.
No students.
Not even, in fact, shove a teacher, let
Not to
alone
talk of
push
push.
his
Twice.
chest.
When it comes to
Not
greeting, you
once.
first greet.
That one must be a known rascal. As in, it will be a known rascal in the whole school environment. Like, hey, Oti, you know, he signed. Yes, and I can bet during the times we were in school, that child knows his or her fate, you know, suspension or expulsion, and I can bet before such child will school in that environment again, the parents will sweat because no schools will
nowadays.
readily accept a recalcitrant child. But coming to look at it these days, discipline generally, even in the home front, is highly eroded. You know, the same way we frown at a child. For instance, just imagine a child walk up to our set now and just pick my cup of tea without permission, or drink or spill. Would you be smiling at the child? The same way.
Some parents will.
Some
parents
parents
will.
will. Some parents will.
Some
Some
parents
parents
will
will.
not
He's a
allow it.
child.
Yes.
It's the same attitude that was brought to bear in that instance. But see, we can't say because we paid for, okay, now people are paying, you know. Sorry, I'm not in any way, you know, stigmatizing or downplaying other means of having babies, please, no. In fact, I preach and advocate for it, IVFs, whatever, surrogacy, you know, as long as it's within the ambit of the law. Yeah, some people say, do you know the suffering I suffered before, you know how much I paid? Come on. If you say because you have paid so much,
Or maybe 2
or
CS.
you have gone through so much to have this baby, and you do not want discipline to be instilled, I can bet such parents are not disciplining that child even at home for the child to have come out to display such a habit. So from my experience, you said, what I've learned is that discipline is on the low, you know, on an all-time low right now. Parents are not training them at home. They would not even allow teachers to.
train them.
But when it has to do with the parents, so when the child misbehaves at home, do you know some parents will come to school and say, uncle, they know the uncle they can use, you know, to, and they say, uncle, man, so, your boy is getting unruly now. They can't handle it. They don't want the school to handle it. That is why the society is where we are today. You can see the effect. And please, our teachers, really, I know some people say, oh, well, it depends on how the teacher has carried himself, you know, before that incident. He must have, you know, brought himself to their level for a child to have empathy to do that. Well, please,
but
know
what is
your
wrong,
worth.
sometimes what is wrong with a teacher coming down to a child's level? Not in terms of bringing disrespecting himself, because sometimes
But this is what you
children
get when
learn
you do.
better when you're friendly with them.
Yes.
You're able to. We just
Especially
take
as a
this
teacher.
issue.
So what do we do now? When you bring yourself to their level and they
And
want
then they
to
start-
more,
want to start
you know.
disrespecting
So
you.
please remain at your place as
You
teacher.
know, I saw something and it said, if you defend your children's misbehavior, one day you will hire a lawyer to defend their crime. Discipline is not child abuse.
It's not.
It is not.
It's not.
And I think-
Let me quickly throw out the line
Okay.
for people to also respond. 0706 325 5428. 0706 325 5428. You can call in and also share your thoughts on our subject of discourse this morning. We're looking at discipline in schools. How can teachers handle discipline? Also, parents, what do they need to do? Using this, the video we showed and what we are looking at this morning as case study, What do you think the parents went too far? Do you also think that parents, teachers don't have the right to discipline a child in whatever form? Because now I also know that the child rights law is saying no more corporal punishment.
Yes.
Oh, no more corporal punishment.
You know, in those days, they used to give us punishments. You clear grass, you sweep, you pack
get
the
beaten
desk,
too.
you get beaten, you get punished, you kneel down.
You get beaten on the assembly, fam.
Oh,
It is worse, yes, publicly.
Two boys, your hands.
They go hold you like
Here,
this.
here, and
And they living daylight out of you.
Now, if you do that, that's child abuse, you know.
that's
You
what.
bring a kind of hair to school.
They'll put scissors.
Fab it for you on the
If
assembly
they don't put
ground.
scissors, they'll put
Oh,
gum.
Can you do
on
that
it.
on
Okay,
any
sorry,
child
do
right
that,
now?
we have a call.
All
We have a
right.
call. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, ladies, I'm enjoying your program. My name is Ade. I'm calling from England. Not precisely.
All
Okay.
right, thank you.
I'm listening to all of you. You are mothers. Number one, there should be a law that smacking of a child should be banned because we're in a civilized world now. What they do in London is this. From either you are in primary school or secondary school, if you misbehave, every school has a detention room. So they will take that child to detention room. When it's about time to close, they close school here 2:30. So by 2:15, they will ask that child to go to detention room. So that child will remain in that detention room. When the school closes, he or she will be denied playing with her mates when they are going home. Everybody will have gone home. When the parents come to pick them up, if it's secondary school, primary school, they will tell the parents in detention room. They will say in that place before 30. And the parents will now be taken. So it will be alone. And no child will like that. The same thing applies to secondary school. You came from secondary school, no parent will come, but you can go back yourself. If you are in a, 300 level upward. So, but they will put them in detention room. And they don't like that. They like the school to close to play with their mates. But they will deny them that. Nobody will smack them. So that pains the child more. So that teacher doesn't need to beat that child. If he push you, they have a recorded CCTV in your school. Then complain to the school, invite the parents, show them. That's what they should have done. Or when the parent came back to the school, there should be a protocol. They will see the admin, so they won't access to the teacher directly. Then they can handle the issue. So they blame whoever they want to blame. That's my own belief of way of doing things.
So we are saying the parents were also right in what they did eventually. Because of the wrong the teacher did. The parents were right.
Yes.
The parents were right to have gone to school to beat up the teacher.
No, that's what I'm saying. The parents is wrong to go and beat. You can't tie that. Anyway, they can only do that in Nigeria. How can you have a go and beat a teacher? You go to prison. So that shows what's happening in their houses. That they don't train their child properly. The parents shouldn't have gone to the child and be touching the shit. You don't even touch anybody. For them touching anybody against their will. It's against the law. I don't know about the law in Nigeria, but it's against the law. Because it's an assault.
All right.
You see? So the teacher is not supposed to smack that boy. Oh, it's a girl or boy, I don't know.
Yes, the
He's
teacher
not
was
supposed to
wrong,
smack
the
that boy.
parents are wrong, the
So
schools are
that's my
wrong.
own.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for calling.
Let me add. I don't know. First, he said they'll put the child in detention room.
No, that's approach.
He's suggesting it to us.
Children here, where their parents will leave them alone at home and go to their various work.
Exactly.
So
Where
how
they
do
are used to loneliness.
You put me in detention room for a week. If I will cause trouble every day, so that I can be in detention room. What is
They're in
it?
Nigeria.
Children
Our
are
heart is
exactly
it's
left
strong.
by themselves alone.
And there should be ways that
that's-
that this child will be punished. We know things that we will do to our child that will pain them.
The only
Now we already
English
know that taking
we
them-
understand in Nigeria
Yes.
is punishments.
Yes, but then there are some certain punishments.
What do you
That's
want to
why I
deprive a
said.
child?
That
What
is
do
why.
you-
That's
As
why.
a teacher, what do you want to deprive the
okay.
child? Can you say the
Your-
child
You
should
can
go out
tell
of
the
your
child
class?
to
You
sit
can't do
on the
that.
fence.
Sit on
I
the
mean,
How do they
also
do
in
it?
the
You
past.
can tell the child to pick a pin.
In the
Not-
past,
don't do that.
You
at
don't hit the
schools
child.
And
You don't even
teachers
punish a
who
child
will
now.
send you to go and sit under the sun.
That's too
Yeah.
much. That's
Also
too far
an
because
extreme.
They do me. That thing I did it.
I witnessed
I did it.
But that's to the extreme. That's
Yes,
to the
we
extreme.
talk about school, we talk about character, we talk about learning. I would also tell you that teacher did not also display good level of character.
At all.
Because you don't teach someone, how do they say, you don't teach wrong by doing wrong. The teacher was not supposed to also hit that child the way he did. That is why I said there are protocols to follow.
What
You
is
take
the
it to
intensity
school.
of this heat?
So does that mean no? If the teacher acted out of anger, then we can also say the parents acted out of anger. They should be ways. If we are going to justify the parents, if we are going to justify the teacher, if we are going to defend the teacher, then we should also defend the parents.
No, I'm not defending the
That's the thing. No, you guys are defending the teacher, saying that the child, it was provoked. The child touched him on the chest. Then the parents were also provoked. Why did you hit my child? Do you know how I'm training the child? Do you know what I went through? So if we cannot justify wrong by wrong. If we are justifying that the teacher acted out of anger, then the parents acted out of anger. Both of them were wrong. They did not follow due protocols.
Is running all of this.
All right. We have to take a break now from this because we're going to the newsroom to developing stories. When we come back, it's still hot in here. You join us.
For centuries, libraries have been at the heart of education and knowledge preservation. But today, many of these spaces are struggling to attract young readers as digital platforms continue to reshape how students learn. In Ondo State, school administrators say they have observed a steady decline in library use among students. They attribute the trend to a weakened reading culture and the increasing pull of social media and online tools.
Internet is a great problem that we are facing in this generation. Majority of them are so consumed with the social vices through this internet, and they don't really have time to read. It's not even the library that is the problem, but they are not having that time to read.
We found out that of late, students no longer patronize the library, even when facilities there are up to standard. When books are there, students find it very uneasy to go to the library to read, and it has to do with this culture of students not minding their business as far as education upliftment is concerned.
Yet, in the midst of this decline, some students still make deliberate efforts to visit the library for learning.
It drives me to be visiting the library. This is because when I visit the library, I'm so interested and I'm motivated. Because when I visit it, I'll see there's books and I'll read there and gain more interesting topics.
Library is good too because I really like library. Because our class is too crowded, so I need to come. Library is so silent and there's so many books in libraries.
But even with these testimonies, numbers continue to drop. This is the Ondo State Library in Akure. The hall can seat over 100 readers, yet staff say less than 50 people visit in an entire week. The director of the Ondo State Library Board, Abiodun Bagbe, confirms the decline. He says outdated materials, infrastructural challenges, and the rise of e-libraries are major reasons students are turning away from physical libraries.
There's a big shift from the the usage of traditional library to the electronic library. And when you say electronic library, that's the electronic version of the traditional library, that is the physical library. And for the student, the readers, to really patronize our service here, that means that we need to make the library so inviting. I'm sorry to say the library has not been totally inviting to people because there are some infrastructures that ought to have been put in place.
School authorities say they are now adopting new strategies to stimulate interest and revive the reading culture among young people.
When I got here, I decided to start silent reading. Number one, it will enable the student to really know the importance of reading. So when they have this reading culture, it will be very easy for them to be visiting the library.
Experts argue that despite the rise of e-libraries, digital resources, and artificial intelligence tools, physical libraries remain vital for focused learning and knowledge preservation. Calls continue to grow for government investment in modern libraries in schools and communities across the state. Experts are urging Nigerians to tap into the digital age by nurturing a strong reading culture from an early stage. They believe that embracing this can help shape a generation of better informed citizens. Blessing Obi, Osrc News.
Katrina Ling. Justice Omotosha held that Kanu's call in a broadcast directing graduates of chemical engineering and chemistry to manufacture Molotov cocktails amounted to an act of terrorism. Quoting one of Kanu's broadcasts, the judge said the IPOB leader urged his followers to go to the bush and attack any military or police convoy they saw, adding that the described security personnel as enemies who also bleed. According to him, such statements, especially those targeting international protected persons, such as ambassadors and high commissioners, fall under offenses punishable by life imprisonment. Justice Omotosha held that the prosecution had proved the counts against Kanu and consequently convicted him. Meanwhile, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Adegboyega Awomolo, who prosecuted Nnamdi Kanu's case on behalf of the federal government, has praised the sentencing of the indigenous people of Biafra's leader to life imprisonment. Speaking with reporters at the Federal High Court in Abuja following Kanu's conviction on 7 counts of terrorism, Awomolo described the judgment as a strong message that no one is above the country's laws. Awomolo also commended the judiciary for the verdict, noting that the judgment had saved the country from the influence of a proscribed group. In another development, there was panic across Osun State following widespread social media claims that bandits sighted between the Osun-Tedo and Ido communities had attacked commuters along the Oshogbo-Iwo Road, sparking fear among residents and travelers. Reacting to the claims in a statement, spokesperson for the Osun State Police Command, Abiodun Ojalabi, dismissed the report, saying no herdsmen or bandits attack occurred on the route. Ojalabi explained that the incident that triggered the rumor was a misunderstanding arising from a minor road crash. The command condemned the circulation of false alarms and unverified information capable of causing panic and endangering innocent lives. It urged the public to verify information before acting or sharing, warning against jungle justice. Outside Nigeria, United States Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs has criticized President Donald Trump's threat of military action in Nigeria over alleged Christian genocide, describing it as reckless. Jacobs made the remarks during a U.S. Congress public hearing on Nigeria as a country of particular concern. The Democrat said attributing the violence in Nigeria solely to a religious crisis does not capture the full picture. Jacobs added that the violence affects both Christians and Muslims. She also urged the Nigerian government to do more to protect its citizens. And that's it on Developing Stories. Please don't go away as Perspectives continues. Stay with us.
Taken. We're still looking at the discipline in schools vis-a-vis parents' reactions to words being disciplined. We took a look at a video earlier where parents, a father and a mother, went to school to beat up a teacher who they say slapped their child in school. And we'll be talking about it. Also, we'll still to use the next 5-10 minutes to see if we can take more calls and have more studio discussion. The number to join us on is 0706 325 5428. 0706 325 5428. All right, let's talk more on this. Should it be allowed in schools? We're talking about corporal punishment. You know, I mentioned earlier that the child rights law is now saying no to corporal punishment. If we are to allow it, to what extent should it be? Because these are part of the things that is causing issues in school. Now the teachers don't know what to do. At this point, how do you handle a child that is recalcitrant? How do you handle a child that is stubborn? How do you handle a child that the parent didn't train at home and they believe they can come and drop that child on your lap as a teacher? And when you now decide to, you know, try to help them train, that training where they don't get for us, you want to help them instill them, you are in the wrong. So what should you do?
Corporal punishment has been outlawed in school, and that stands there, that teachers are not to, you know, give or administer corporal punishments to students. Fine. But what are the alternatives?
Exactly.
You know, somebody said isolated room, or what did they call
That's
it?
detention abroad, because that call actually came from outside Nigeria.
Yes, because if you put a Nigerian child in a situation, we'll sleep till closing. When you hear banga banga, you stand up.
Doesn't this even have a disadvantage? Because for that day,
we miss out, yes, on all the lectures.
No. He said the school closes by 2. Then the child will be on detention till when the parents come to pick the child.
Okay, not during the school.
No, you know, this is now with what you just said. What alternative? Since the detention would not work, this is why I would say if the teacher plays their part, the parents can play their part, then they can both come together to see what to do. Now, we know already that the detention room may not work in Nigeria, but you know one thing that children are addicted to right now? Yeah. Now, they went to the school admin, they spoke to the school admin, this, and then the parents are invited, can actually read. Now, the child definitely have a phone. Even a 5-year-old would have a phone. Now, you can tell the parent, we want to take this child's phone, restrict this child from social media or anything, TikTok and the rest. Now, when you do that, now you can also tell them that when this child goes home, certain things should also be done. That's if the parents is also willing to ensure that this child.
About parents who are there.
The willing parents.
The willing parents.
Yeah, that's what
not the parents. When we say that them already don't even spoil this child, because this scenario, with the reaction of the parents, it's not just about I love my child. I don't want any harm to come to the child. It's about what they've been doing at home that the child has been saying. And the kind of hand they've given the child to operate. That child resembles Peking when not get training.
So
because
what
the parents.
I said this thing you said, working with parents and teachers. Do you know that some parents that will agree to this? Oh yes, mommy, yes, ma. When they go home, mommy, please now. Mommy,
they
please
have that
now.
soft spot.
Come on, and it's over. So that thing your teacher is trying to deprive that child of is being given at home. Okay. So what are we saying?
Okay, so what
my consistency. Okay, let's just say
teacher.
Always a teacher, of course.
So, first is that you have this courage, you know, of self-worth. You understand? Yes, your salary might be small, you know, maybe could barely cater for.
Sorry to cut into your flow.
Yes.
Because you're really right. Self-worth. Do you know there are teachers who will go asking parents for money, begging?
Even the students themselves.
Even students.
You know, when students
there's nothing wrong with you appreciating your teacher.
No,
it's a different thing. Not you asking for it.
Or when
not you sending notes through your child, because it happened to me. Saying you needed to pay your child's school fees.
My goodness, my goodness.
The child is
There's
in
no
university
and
you don't and you don't have much. Please, I need your help. You know, that kind of.
Well, and you for me, it depends on you.
That's it.
Not send a note through my child.
No, you see. So please know your self-worth. Carry yourself with this respect. That parents is what can I call it now? Okay, maybe
it's more like a client.
No. Let's say that parent is it could be. Who are those people that we kind of fear in the society? Those kind of career you want to say, hey,
you get anybody where they don't fear for this society?
No, there are certain professions that when you hear, you say, oh, these are the happening
you
people.
Do well for them.
Wherever cars they are driving. And you come with your legged this best to school.
Which is the best?
Let your gait, be steady.
Yes,
Speaking of confidence. And that starts from the way you appear. You don't have to buy the designers. Then, wear something that fits, that's presentable.
Look good.
Yes, look good. Smell well, and
carry yourself with pride.
With pride. And then,
and comfy.
Know your onions. That thing you're teaching.
Yes, so.
One of my lecturers then will say, oh, money, know your onions. I mean, because by the time students ask first, second questions in class and you are fumbling, come on.
Do you know
that's the beginning of pushing you around.
All right, let me read out our number again, 0706 325 5428. 0706 325 5428. That's the number.
So know your onions, so that when the child goes and you say, Mr. Alagbaja does not even know how to teach. They don't understand the long and the short of your lesson notes. You can't explain. You are timid. No, please.
Your student is
be
even
grounded
in class.
Be grounded in your area of study. Then know a little bit of other things, so that you're not embarrassed, because students have a way of catching you off guard.
Just embarrassing the
yes,
teacher.
they can come, unexpectedly when it's not even your lesson and pose a question, or in the middle of a lesson,
they just want to lift you up.
They can ask you a question that is irrelevant to what you are teaching today. And as a teacher, by the time you fumble today, you fumble tomorrow. Next tomorrow, when it's time to go to that class, your legs will be
wobbling,
staggering. So know it to the extent that parents will know that when it comes to that subject you're taking, you're the best. That's where the child will even start fearing you, like Mrs. or Mr. or Uncle, whatever it is they call you. Know it very well. Then parents, mommy, let's talk to ourselves. Yes. That a teacher is not up to expectation, that a teacher is not rich, or that you feel they are just teachers. Come on. If you have that kind of mindset towards your children's teacher, then you're not expecting the best from the teacher. Why waste your money? Because if I can discipline your child, then definitely I can teach. You must see me first like someone who can discipline your child. I'm not saying beat and as in that can control. I must be able to control a child before I can teach. And that should have started from home. If your child has a level of discipline, if your relationship with your neighbors at home is nice, if you've told your students, your children that there are certain family values that you've instilled in your child, then that child will not come to school and push a teacher.
Exactly.
If the child is not contented with something the teacher has done, knows where to report, or better still gets to you and say, Mom, do you know today Mr. So did this? And then you, being a reasonable person, also know where to lay that complaint.
And it's not everything a parent should come to school to
complain about.
You
it's really nice that you're on the show today, and especially the topic we're looking at.
Thank
In fact, you're on this show today as both as a guest
as
a co-presenter. All right, we need to move fast because of our time to the next part of the show. Please, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go straight to our trendy stories. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back. Going straight to trending stories, the Federal High Court in Abuja has convicted the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, of terrorism against the federal government. Justice James Omotosho, while delivering judgment, said the prosecution proved its case in the 7 counts against Kanu beyond a reasonable doubt. On count 1, he said that the defendant failed to respond to the broadcast accusation and deliberately refused to enter his defense on it. Omotosho stated that evidence shown by the prosecution revealed that the defendant ordered the sit-at-home order in the southeast region. He said Kanu committed an act of terrorism against Nigeria by making a broadcast threatening that people would die and the world would be at a standstill. The judge said the defendant knew what he was doing and was bent on carrying out the threats without consideration for the lives of his own people. We also know that reactions have trailed this judgments since yesterday that it happened. Trailed the conviction and sentencing of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, that's Nnamdi Kanu, on terrorism. Although people were seen at several points in Owerri municipality discussing the issue in low tone, only a few of them opted to speak on the matter. For example, Chief Simon Odike said he was not surprised by the judgment. In his words, he said, and I quote, "I'm not surprised by the judgment. I didn't expect anything less." The monetary award for damages ordered by competent courts of land. Another person, that's a former chairman of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA Idemili branch, Anambra State, that's Barrister Maurice Efobe. He criticized the life imprisonment sentence handed to indigenous people of Biafra IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, describing the judgment as one he believes was premeditated. I think I should leave you guys.
I also have some reactions from X. This one says, Nigeria continues to expose its own contradictions. A country that rehabilitates hundreds of confessed Boko Haram fighters, men who openly admitted to taking innocent Nigerian lives, is the same country that turns around and hands life imprisonment to Kalu today. How do we explain a justice system where killers can be forgiven, reintegrated, and even empowered, yet political cases suddenly attract the harshest punishment? Justice must be consistent to be credible. You cannot preach unity while practicing selective punishment. This imbalance is exactly why Nigerians no longer trust the system. Another reaction said, what exactly did he do? This isn't a fair judgment. In all honesty, meanwhile, terrorists are walking freely. And lastly, another one said, I never supported Nnamdi Kanu excesses, but selective justice against a certain tribe is sin. We will never forget. Now, a lot of people are saying this is unfair because now they are talking about how well-known terrorists are being rehabilitated and brought back into the system. Now, maybe he might have said that people would suffer and all of those things.
He called for war.
He called for war. But now, he called for war, and then we have people who were at the forefront of the
war.
Who
were already fighting war.
Who are already
fighting and killing.
And then these people are sent for rehab, and then they are even giving funds to, like, okay, come back
integrated into the army, into the society.
Now, we know that we've seen cases. Let me divert a bit. We know we've seen cases. I think recently, is it the Kwara or the Kebbi? The lady said that the people that came in to attack them were dressed in army uniforms. I'm not saying it is those people that were integrated, but what are the chances that they are not?
Now, speaking of army uniform, normal. Let me use pidgin English. If person wear army uniform first,
before.
trouble.
Not trouble before. You dare
Oh,
not
be now
on the street of Nigeria.
But now people wear it,
country.
hold arms, and nothing is being done about it.
Maybe they're not caught too. If they were
Say
caught.
so with cameras. They bring out their faces are there. They know these people.
How do they get these uniforms?
That's it.
So are we saying it's, that's why I said I'm not saying, but allegedly, could it be that it's the same people that were integrated? Because now we get to ask ourselves, how do they even get possession of those firearms? You have to be in a system for you. You can't access it now.
Okay.
It's just like if you are not a teacher, there are some textbooks that you cannot access.
You cannot have access
so
to.
yes, the same if you are not in the forces.
Even
How can
if you're
you
a
access
teacher,
some certain things?
They won't just give you access to it until there is a paper written to
They
it.
even
or
have
you're on a
sophisticated
school.
weapons, more sophisticated than the ones that the current forces have. So what are we saying? Let's not move away from Kanu issue.
Yes, I just want to support those tweets, especially talking about selective justice system in the country. Yes, we know that certain things that happened along the line, as one could say, constitute treason.
Yeah.
For instance, till now, in the East, we still have this sit at home on Mondays, you know, and it began you know, by the declaration from the IPOP leaders and all of that. There were some people killed then in the early stages for being in the Nigeria police or being in the Nigerian army and for being members, you know, indigenous of the eastern part of the country. All of this, if we want to consider the losses that people or even the nation has incurred, you know, it's huge. But then, if we can pardon some offenders, you know, in fact, more grievous offenders, and say, oh, go and sin no more, then what happens? Why can't we? And looking at this one, it's even a civil case, some agitating for the creation of
it's not just
dividing Nigeria.
Mere agitation. If this agitation does not cost human lives, we'll say it's a different. We know the number of lives that have been lost to this cause. Okay. We know. There are evidences of his call for military, Yorubas, everybody, Igbos to be killed. You know, there are evidences.
Even the answers.
But he refused. For me, at a point I was like, has he given up on himself? Because the truth is, did he have a fair trial to the point where he was sentenced? Yes. At a point, Kanu decided to stop call off his lawyers to say, I don't want to be defended. I want to defend myself. At a point, it was giving time for him to bring up his defense, to talk. He refused. He was stalling and stalling and stalling.
But at some points too, the judgments were in his favor. So were they honored? Even so.
No, like
like
one
we
of
read,
said. He has this mind of saying, there is a law that I've said. There is. I can't really get.
Yes, I think he's having a particular backing from one of the laws.
Because laws saying. Anything against terrorism is, I don't know.
Yes,
So that's what he's holding on to. But in all honesty, did they commit those crimes? Yes. Does he deserve to be sentenced? Yes. But we are saying, if he deserves to be sentenced for what he did, what about those that are being pardoned, that are being given? There's even one that was given 20 years imprisonment.
Yes.
Where he should have been
killed.
You know? So, if we must, justice system,
when you look at the political nature of
the
case,
that way,
you know, one
it's
would expect, like some people initially called for a political way of resolving Kanu's issue. You understand? I think that could have been a win-win, you know, if it has been considered politically, you know, a win for the nation and then freedom for Kanu as he speaks. Maybe, you know how passionate people are towards this cause, and all of that. And the sentiments attached to his case. Maybe if political solution were to be engaged, you know, in his case, then certain people who feel marginalized, you know, ill-treated in this nation could also have a sense of belonging. Maybe the commander of the IPOB, what do I call them now? I don't want to use insurgent, so
Let's just say group.
group, yes. You will be able to quell the fire of the crisis we're experiencing in the South.
All right. Did you also think Kanu made this judgment easy for himself?
No, he didn't.
Based on his attitudes in
He
court.
didn't, yes. At the point that
At
they
the
sent
point
him out.
Before the day of the judgment, the one before yesterday, you need to see the way he reacted. Hitting lawyers, shouting. At a point, I felt, did he even make it easy for the judges, for the judge?
It is
and other
easy
people?
to have been incarcerated for 10 years.
So there are people
10
still
good
who are
years.
being incarcerated for more years who don't have judgment
So
right
one
now.
might not
It's
really
because
have
it's
the
coming.
sanity.
It's
You know,
because
at the point
so
that
that's
he
another
reminds
thing. A
me
lawyer will say, probably if he had even, in the course of his defense, if he had claimed insanity, they should even look that way. But in the meantime, he has said they will appeal.
Yes,
that they are
will.
going to appeal the judgment. His former lawyer and consultant, our lawyer Ejimako, after the court case, after the judgment, said they will appeal. But Justice James Omotosho of the High Court in Abuja has given insight into his decision to sentence Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, to life imprisonment rather than impose the death penalty after convicting him of terrorism-related charges. Yesterday, the judge acknowledged that the offenses for which Kanu was convicted carry death penalty. However, he said he opted for a lesser sentence out of a commitment to mercy, citing both global trends and religious teachings. You could even see where he was quoting the Bible yesterday when he was giving the judgment. He noted that many countries are moving away from capital punishment and referenced biblical teachings, especially the book of Matthew, where Jesus Christ urges followers to show compassion.
Okay, sorry,
to him, he did well.
So he deserves a compassion.
Let's
The only
say-
grace he has right now, if he doesn't appeal, is maybe presidential pardon.
Let's hope for a presidential
okay.
But then the verdict is significant for Nigeria's legal political landscape. It signals the government's firm stance on separatism and alleged terrorism. Maybe that will serve as deterrent to future agitators. At the same time, the intensity of backlash suggests risks to social cohesion in the southeast and may affect how future protests or negotiations unfold. The fact that reactions range widely underscores how charged this case has been, combining legal, ethnic, historic, and political dimensions. So, what would still say? We're hoping that something is done soon. And just as somebody said, my fear is let's not this man die in incarceration, because
there was a
something
time
may happen.
there was a time it was said that we needed to
go for
have
medical
checkup.
care.
He cannot walk again. He cannot this. He cannot die. He's so sick. But the person we're seeing in court doesn't look sick.
He looks so healthy and fresh.
Let's move ahead because of our time. We can go on and on about Kanu, but we know that in the coming week, we still hear more about this. The United States House Subcommittee on Africa yesterday opened a public hearing to review President Donald Trump's recent redesignation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. The hearing, which began at 5 p.m. in room 2172 of the Rayburn House Office building and streamed live online, was chaired by Representative Chris Smith. Lawmakers gathered to the designation, which, if affirmed by the Senate, could clear the way for sanctions against Nigeria officials found complicit in religious persecution. The CPC status could also limit certain categories of U.S. bilateral assistance. Meanwhile, a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, Chris Smith, said during a congressional hearing on allegations of Christian persecution in the country that Nigeria could be removed from the United States country of particular concern list if it takes concrete steps to address human rights abuses. The federal government has denied allegations of religiously motivated violence, maintaining that insecurity in the country stems from criminal activities unrelated to faith.
Well, the listing of Nigeria as one of the countries with particular concern to the U.S. government has generated a lot of hullabaloo. People saying, okay, but the argument is it genocide? Is it not genocide? But the fact remains that people are being killed.
Both Christian and Muslims.
Both Christians and Muslim in this country. Almost on daily basis. And the fact is, we want it to end, and we're hoping that this designation of a country as a country of particular concern, we move our politicians to do the needful, because if the citizens shout, say, oh, we're working on it, well, maybe this will expedite actions.
Last week we talked about this same issue, and the point is, this thing we call Christian, the Muslim, it's not even supposed to. We are all one. We are all Nigerians everywhere. As long as you have the blood in you, it doesn't matter whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're an idol worshiper, we are all one. So by the time we realize and understand that fact that we are one, I think the better we will become. Because all this, we target Christian, Muslim, it doesn't make any sense. The point is, we are all humans, and each day, every day, one of us,
Nigerians are going, yes.
It's Nigerians, not Christians, not Muslims.
I think I support what you said. You say already.
We need our schools to be safe again.
Exactly.
We need our worship places.
We need our rivers flowing again.
Exactly.
We need our trees growing again, being greener.
Maybe you'll say you need the air schools to be crying like a.
In the meantime, U.S. Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs has criticized President Donald Trump's threat of unilateral military action in Nigeria over alleged Christian genocide, describing the rhetoric as reckless and potentially dangerous for communities already facing widespread insecurity. Exactly. Jacob, a Democrat representing California's 51st congressional district and a ranking member of the House Subcommittee on Africa, made a remark yesterday during a congressional hearing reviewing Nigeria's redesignation as a country of particular concern. You know, when I watched that Congress yesterday, and I was not happy. Well, why? I just kept saying, see, they sit down on top of Nigeria matter. When our senators, who are actually supposed to look into this issue, are not doing anything. So now, as in, it is Nigeria's issue that was being talked about for hours. And we here, our leaders,
do we spend to deliberate on this matter?
But then let's look at it also. Our president has already told the Minister of Defense to go to Kebbi to see how they can improve the security level there. So let's not really say we are not doing anything.
When did this happen?
This morning.
After the call, after Trump's statement?
After the Congress?
After the Congress?
The US Congress sitting?
But then yes, more like taking the right step at the right time.
Hey, okay, at the right time.
No, I mean taking the right step at the right time should be what our president and the government should be doing. Right. You understand? Because this thing has been lingering for
too long.
It's not until the US starts talking, we are coming, that's when things will be done. So this is something that weeks ago they should have done, like, what can we do? Let's sit down and see how we can take Nigeria to a better place in terms of the security.
Bishop Oyedepo has also come out that he warned that Nigeria faces crisis. He predicted in 2015 a widely shared sermon clip. Oyedepo laments Nigeria's economic collapse, zero security, and hanging destiny, just as he foresaw before the 2015 election. He criticized flattering profits of politicians and endless government money handouts, calling for divine intervention through prayer rather than politics. See, Jesus not go come down. God not go come down. That's what we're saying.
Prayers.
We don't want to sort this thing out.
Because if you look at it, Nigerians pray more than, I don't know the nation that prays more than Nigeria. And it's getting towards the end of the year now. From next month till the end of probably February, Nigerians will be fasting and praying. You see, 30 days, 100 days, you know, oh goodness.
In all of that, if you're in Nigeria, you pray that much. But when you go outside the country, more than half of your prayer point has been met.
And in all of this, Governor Ali of Benue State has said that
there's no genocide.
There is no genocide in Nigeria.
So what's going on? Because if we really want to look at the facts, the most of the targeted locations are Christian
and even
Christian communities.
Oh, well, maybe he's trying
to. Of course, why would I say Christian churches? Churches are meant for Christians. It's churches. Christian community, the Yelawata, the West, even in East Benue State, we have the Yelawata community. It's a Christian community. So what are we saying?
Yesterday during that congress, there was a clip of a pastor, maybe a reverend father now, from Benue State, where one of the attacks happened in a church, and a woman who lost 5 children.
Yes, she came out.
She came out. She was even carrying a baby, you know, who survived one of the attacks and lost her 5 children. I bet how that woman won't be.
And
anyway,
how she won't mourn. And the governor is a reverend father. For that matter, a father of faith.
Because of our time, we're supposed to even, you know, take tweets on that because I have some tweets on it, but we need to move on. The Nigerian Labour Congress, and I would say, has called on the federal government to address the degrading security situation in the country to prevent more people from falling victim to insurgency attack. The call followed the terrorist invasion in Kebbi State, where 20 of the Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School were kidnapped at around 4 p.m. on Monday, and the vice principal of that secondary school was killed. You know, people have been calling out and calling out and calling out. We are not done, just days between each other. We were still grappling with the kidnap
and then
girls.
Then
we have exactly.
Did you see the video?
I saw the video.
In fact,
the old woman,
lady.
I cried.
She knows that she needs to bring herself to safety, but she doesn't even have the willpower to. She was struggling. You needed to see the way people were running inside the church. And then somebody is coming out to say there is no genocide.
And let's not forget the incidents that happened some years back in Ondo State.
Yes.
And also,
so there are pockets of evidences, you know, saying
we're still not done with the church invasion. Yesterday again,
another Christian community, farmers were
in the farm. Yes, the rice farmers, 4 of them were adopted, and now Kwara State has shut down schools in 4 local government areas. You know, and what's the mother of the vice principal? I mean, the wife of the vice principal her daughter escaped in that invasion when those 25 girls were killed. The wife, they were sleeping. It was around 3:30 a.m. when they entered their house. She said she even had to
3:30 a.m.
that she even had to wake her husband to say the animals got into their, because she was hearing sound and all of that.
Before they could do anything,
they have entered and then they killed the husband and took their child, the daughter, to lead them to the school. You know, and when they got to the school, she was about being shot, and the girl said, "Please let me go and ease myself." I think when they saw other students, their attention, they got distracted, and that was how she escaped. And she escaped that. Well, someone has come out to say we know where the girls are. That senator
gets them back to their family. If you know
where the girls are.
And what are you waiting for? You know,
the same thing. They're even money for ransom.
Yes, I think how much is it now?
Per child,
Per child. Yes, per child.
And that also brings us to some of the tweets that says a certain security have provided intelligence, you know, before and during some of these attacks, and nothing.
Especially this one in Kebbi.
And somebody is saying we know where they are. Is it until they are married off to bandits?
Look at the Chibok girls.
The Chibok girls case. In fact, it's not favorably resolved till today.
It
remains a mystery.
After in many cases, they said the security were that they came around and they got a call to leave, and 30 minutes later, the invasion happened.
It's within them. There is an informant
There's
around.
a snitch. There's a snitch within the system.
All right. Also, there was this story that broke yesterday saying that the attackers of our states
been apprehended.
were apprehended. But the truth is, the Kwara State Police Command has dismissed the viral video circulating on social media alleging that the bandits who attacked the worshippers have been caught, that they are not the one. All right, let's move on. All I can say this is, may God help us.
Only God can help us at this point.
Everybody is scared now. We are moving with fear in our hearts. You know, how long will this continue? These needless killings and death needs to stop. The National Youth Service Corps has disowned a pamphlet circulating on social media. They advised corps members to pay ransom if kidnapped. The scheme described the document as fake and not its official publication. In a statement issued via its X handle yesterday, the NYC management clarified that although a consultant had presented a similar document for consideration in 2021, it was not adopted. The NYC reassured corps members and the public of its commitment to their safety, noting that it continues to work closely with security agencies and other stakeholders to enhance protection for staff and corps members.
How are they enhancing this protection? Should be the first question. I know we Nigerians, we are very quick to say we are doing this, but what are the what is the effectiveness of that doing? See, at this point, I would say NYSC should take a halt right now. Because we can remember that this is a
show hot. The scheme show hot.
Yes. When you're saying wow, during COVID-19 2020, there was no NYSC until late October. So this is something that has to also do with national emergency. We're talking about people traveling to another state. And you know the funny thing is, to this same Kwara state, people are still being posted. I think, was it last week or this week or last week, students were mobilized for NYC. I think they just went to camp. Now, there are still students that got posted to Kwara. There are students that got posted to Ben. There are students that still got posted to Niger State, posted to Kebbi State. So what are you doing to actually guarantee their safety? And now we know that everybody is not going to stay at the capital city. Some people are also going to be posted to these same local governments. So what are you doing? At this point, I'll say they should take a halt. It's not about you telling them there are preventive measures or whatever the pamphlet was even saying. Let's say they debunked it now that, oh, it's not from them. But whatever that pamphlet was even saying was like, you just need to cooperate, you need to do this, you need to do that. Now, if you already know that there is an attack or there is a possibility for an attack, instead of trying to look for remedies while they are being attacked, why don't you even prevent them from being attacked?
Exactly. Prevention is better than
cure. Let's stop looking for remedies. Why don't you prevent it?
Saying NYC should be halt for now, what about people who are not serving? School children, like we see, insecurity is everywhere.
We need to look for a way to manage. You know, we already know that we have a large number of people. We have so many population. So why can't we manage? Now, you see that some schools, they've told some schools to shut down in Kwara State. This is a technique for managing the situation. We cannot halt everything, but the ones that we have control over, why don't we play that?
All right, gone with this when at the camp they tell you always make sure you have your cap on.
Now they're even telling you
but now it's a giveaway.
Now they're telling you not to wear it. There are some states that you don't go to your CDS with your khaki, you don't go for clearance with your khaki. They tell you to come with mufti because they don't want you to be a target. Now, why don't you just halt it?
No, to be a target, allegedly.
No, it's not about.
This is not allegedly. This is a known something. Like a lot of states go with mufti.
Yes, this another. Our stories today are mostly about security. A family has raised alarm online following unverified reports claiming that Ayotunde Obatuyi was abducted late Wednesday. Originated from post on X from an account purportedly belonging to his daughter, Funke Grace Obatuyi, who alleged that her father was kidnapped while returning to Abuja after attending a convocation ceremony at the Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa. According to the post, Obatuyi was traveling back from Akure when the incident reportedly occurred. The family also circulated an audio message said to be from the victim, in which a man's voice pleads for assistance and provides bank details and financial support. This message has since drawn significant attention from student groups, influencers, and online communities, many of whom have tagged security agencies and government officials in effort to prompt action. But as we speak, the government, the police have not said anything about this. The state government have not said anything about this. So we just pray. This is sad that your father came for your convocation and on his way he was kidnapped. See, we are tired.
And just because it has not been confirmed yet, I would just prefer our reactions should be limited.
Yes. Let's move on to the next one. Nollywood actor Fabiyi has claimed he is in possession of what he described as a video showing how singer Ilerioluwa Aloba, known as Mohbad, was killed. He made a fresh claim in a video he posted on social sent to him in an attempt to extort him. The actor, in a viral clip yesterday, said, and I quote, in May 25 that Mohbad was murdered. Part of the video was sent to me in an apparent attempt to extort me. Your office wrote and gave a directive to the Inspector General Police that they should investigate, harmonize, and prosecute. This guy,
how far has that instruction been carried out? At least as of then, the president said, investigate and prosecute. And now again, he has to make that plea again. Where are we on this case? In fact, I'm tired of the Mohbad.
There was
imagine the innocent young man has not even been buried.
Exactly. There was saga until now. We don't even know the result of the autopsy.
People are just people are just chasing clouts with the dead, and it's so painful. And look at the little child in the middle of it.
Exactly.
What will it cost?
It's just a man's child.
Yes. So what does it take?
I think even last week they told the wife,
stop bearing
the son name.
So if you have this purported video you're talking about, why did you bring it up for investigation? And then this issue, there was this story about Baba Ijesha. Thank God it's been released now. And then they came out to say that he was freed. After it was found innocent. But thank God the Lagos State government came to say he served his term. It wasn't as if he was released after appeal that he didn't commit the offense. So he too, this Fabiyi guy should rest Ojari.
The case should be thoroughly investigated. And
so that
the matter could be brought bare, to the public, and so we can
justice
could be buried, and we move on. That's it.
Yes. Wow. I think at this point, we need to give our parting shot. Sharon, let me start with you.
Okay, like I always say, security is not a one man's business. It's everybody's business. You bring this one, you put them together, and we work together as one. So watch out for your neighbor, and your neighbor should watch out for you too.
Shade.
I think we all have to be alert as far as security is concerned, because before we say, some people say it's hope not, but now he's drumming close to home. So we all have to be vigilant. And to parents, once again, I would say discipline lays the foundation, for education. Please ensure your children get disciplined, cultured from home, so that the teacher can find it easy to teach them.
Yeah, taking it back to our focus, I would just say train up a child in the way he or she should grow, so that when they grow up, they won't depart from it.
All right, and from me, I'll take the two. Security, now it's the big thing, and you need to be security conscious. When you see something, say something as our mantra, and you need to do that. Then discipline your child at home. If you train your child well, your child will not go out there to embarrass you. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that is embarrassed, not the child. Till we meet again next week, my name is Remy Allen. Thanks, and have a beautiful weekend to yourselves. If you have Obambe, please go and enjoy yourself.
Be vigilant. If it's not necessary, don't go.
Don't go.
Be vigilant. That's the word.
If it's not necessary, please
from
stay
us,
away.
it's bye-bye.
Yeah.